Bad things could happen at this weekend's WWE Survivor Series War Games 2025. We have seen it before, we may see it again, and somehow this has now become a monthly feature that we do where we run down 10 things that would absolutely ruin the Survivor Series, but it would still be fun because we could talk about it afterwards. Hello, I am Simon Miller, I have no hair. It's cold today, so I'm wearing a big old hood. You didn't need to know that, but maybe you would like to push that subscribe button and maybe that will give you a treat, maybe not. There's only one way to find out. You're damn right. It's 10 ways WWE could ruin this week's PLE. Number 10 is that Brock Lesnar crushes everybody. And again, your brain went, that time we had the Elimination Chamber and Brock Lesnar crushed everybody. Somebody came out recently, I can't remember who it was now, but a professional wrestler, and said in one of the chamber matches, Brock just came out early and beat everybody up. But I'm just done with all of that, right? Given who is in this match and given what we want the future to be. If Brock Lesnar comes in, I imagine he could be the last guy on the heel team and just F5, German suplex, and then gets the pin. Like it ends within, it can't really end within 5 minutes. You have to have the match beyond. But when that starts, it's just Brock Lesnar running through guys, and then it just ends as Bronson Reed and Bron Breaker and Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul just look at him like, oh, thank you very much, Brock. I appreciate it. I just think that would suck. And Brock is nearer to the end of his career than he is at the start of his career. So if there's anything that we should do in this match, it should be teasing a match with, or maybe a CM Punk if you want to go back to that, but more so with Bron Breaker, even though they're on the same team. If you want to do that WrestleMania match and Bron Breaker is going to beat Brock Lesnar, that is good stuff because Brock Lesnar is still a name. And if all of a sudden Bron Breaker beats him and he beats CM Punk and he wins world championships, then even if you aren't on the Bron Breaker train, which you should be, because he's brilliant, you may then start to change your mind. But no, I do agree with that because I think the men's War Games will be the main event. No real reason. I'm just taking a guess there. And if it ends with, Brock Lesnar just going move, like we did at WrestlePalooza with John Cena, which I also didn't like, well, it's going to make me feel sad in my tum-tum. And 9, kind of just talked about it, Bron Breakker getting pinned. That would be the worst idea ever. Now, I would come up with a scenario where Bron Breakker gets the win. And again, we did our predictions video the other day, so please do check that out. Bron Breakker, ever since he separated from the Division, or caused the separation of the Division, has kind of just been hanging out, biding his time, playing Nintendo. Bronson Reed's actually had more of a spotlight, but that's fine as long as he has a showcase performance here, which he can do, just got to give him the time and the right booking. I would like it if he did get the pin for his team, but I think that's less important than him not being pinned, right? Really, when it comes to War Games, as long as you're not the person that gets pinned or you're the person doing the pinning, you can kind of just fade into the background when it comes to the finish, then come out and Raw, and people forget War Games so quickly as we do move on. But Bron Breakker should be the experiment all the way through the end of 2025 into 2026. I don't think it is going to be this, but if it was CM Punk versus Bron Breakker at WrestleMania, I think CM Punk should lose and Bron Breakker should win. Because if WWE has time and worth invested in the guy, which they should do, much like Jacob Fatu on the other side, then there's no point standing on ceremony Mr. Wayne, and let's not put him in predicaments that could potentially harm him. Let's just push him. He's paid his dues. He was also in NXT. He's come out. He's been on the main roster now for like 2 years. He's had the Intercontinental Championship, and again, he screwed over Seth Rollins. So when he comes back, that could even be a match for the World Heavyweight Championship. But just don't pin him, right? Maybe he doesn't get the pin, but do not pin him. It would ruin Survivor Series. Number 8 was a good one, sent to me by you out there on social media, and that is that, and you're right, this would ruin it, Rey Mysterio comes out, screws over John Cena, and teams with Dom. It would suck on so many levels. 1, you would never get the payoff of Rey Mysterio versus John Cena, because I doubt all of a sudden Rey Mysterio is going to be John Cena's last opponent, given that he's not in the tournament. 2, I don't want to see Dom and Rey together. They're way better as adversaries, and I want to see the end of that feud properly. And 3, the only way this would work is if Rey said, I did this. Because you remember that time CM Punk left in 2011, and I won that mini tournament on Raw to become the world champion, then you challenged me, even though you never entered nothing and took my belt away. That I would like. It's also a story from 14 years ago, and a numerous amount of people would be watching this guy. I have no idea what you're talking about, because they're brand new wrestling fans. There's nothing wrong with being a brand new wrestling fan. There's also nothing wrong with just watching WWE, or just watching AEW, or not knowing about Japanese wrestling. There are all types of different people that want to get into wrestling. Let's not gatekeep it, but that's a great one, right? I actually would be more annoyed about Dom and Rey teaming up, because there is no way they should do that until Rey is going to retire, and Dominic Mysterio should be the guy to retire him. And that's why, again, going back to my predictions video, I think John Cena should lose to Dominic Mysterio here, because once Dom does do that to his dad, he can have the double. He can have the Chris Jericho, I beat Stone Cold, The Rock on the same night. He can say, I beat John Cena in his last last ever match, in his last ever loss, I should say, because I think John Cena will win his last match, and I retired the great Rey Mysterio. So yeah, never turn Rey Mysterio heel again. That would kind of be like what we did with John Cena in March or February, whenever the hell the Elimination Chamber was. There were certain aspects of that I liked, but I think most of us now in hindsight can look back and go, we should have just got lovable John Cena. We just want lovable Rey Mysterio. Bret Hart said the other day, Rey Mysterio on many levels is the greatest wrestler ever. He's not wrong. Number 7, and again, this is one we always have to watch out for, even though we are in new WWE land. Either of the War Games ends in a no contest. Now, maybe you're a brand new fan, but back in 2019, we had a Hell in a Cell, which is a similar match concept in terms you can do whatever you want between The Fiend and Seth Rollins, and it ended, yes, that's right, in no contest after, I think it was Seth Rollins used a toolkit on Bray. Was it the other way around? No, I'm pretty sure that Seth did it to him because he's The Fiend and he can't die, and the referee decided, even though it's no DQ and you should be allowed to do whatever you want, just going to call it off. Now, this was terrible. People were mad. It wrecked the Hell in the Cell, and you could probably make the argument that it was Drew and CM Punk from last year in 2024 that finally rectified it. People booed this. Fans booed. They didn't boo Seth. They didn't boo The Fiend. They just booed the overall idea. And poor Seth Rollins took the brunt of this, I guess, because The Fiend was a spooky wooky character. And we had to end his babyface run, which was going all right in 2019 for a while. But this really was bottom of the barrel. So I don't think Triple H would ever do that. I think he understands the importance of a stipulation. But you have to have winners and losers. I don't mind if somehow everybody gets blown up or something like that. But a referee can't call it off. A referee can't say there's a DQ. And a referee certainly can't go, I believe you're causing too much violence, and therefore I'm ending the match. It would suck. This should not be able to be on this list. But the sad fact of the matter is WWE did do this before. I do think we do too many War Games every single year. I think we should pick the women and pick the men and allow the story to bleed into it. But we are getting to, right? It's going to be there. And in that case, we've got to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the sport and of the match. Don't do this. I need a winner. I don't even care who shouldn't be winning here. I love Nia Jax, but at the moment she has the least story. Even if Nia Jax gets the pin, that's fine, that's awesome. You can tie it to something else. Don't do it with nothing. Number 6 is a very important one, and she has made it a tradition. It will ruin Survivor Series if Iyo Sky doesn't put a trash can on her head and jump off the cage. Now, really, I don't know what Iyo Sky's real name is. I guess it's Iyo Shirai. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't want her to do this if she doesn't need to do this, because I wrestle as well. You can check out my matches, just search for my name and you can laugh at me. It is terrifying going to the top rope. It's even more terrifying going up to the top of the cage. So to then blindfold yourself and do it, she's one of a kind. She truly is. That is an incredible maneuver to pull off, but she's been in so many War Games now. Has to be the woman that's been the most War Games matches ever since we kind of had them down in NXT and brought them up to the main roster. But more often than not, she does put a bit on her head and jump off, so now people expect it, and you are putting a lot of faith in the people that are waiting down there to catch you. So I would say 75% of me, the nerd side, would be like, I can't believe we didn't get to see it again. But the dad side of me, the 25% that's way more important, be like, thank goodness we're not doing anything silly. Just protect yourself, right? There's nothing more important than being safe in professional wrestling. But at the same time, if you would like to jump off the top of the cage in a bin, a lot of people that like professional wrestling would be your biggest fan. Number 5, and this isn't going to happen now, but once again, I think we don't forget the past. Otherwise, you are going to condemn the future. Don't add in brand warfare. WWE doesn't even seem to care about Raw or SmackDown anymore. The brand split is dead, especially when you do get things like War Games and the Survivor Series. But of course, the original Survivor Series was Raw versus SmackDown. And from nowhere, these people that hated each other would come up with Raw shirts. People come up with SmackDown shirts. And they'd be like, you should care. And I was like, why would we care? People are jumping across brands all the time anyway. But also, it sucks. Why does AJ Styles care if he's wrestling for Raw or SmackDown? Why does Cody Rhodes care? It doesn't make any difference. You are a company person, right? If we're looking at it, if it was on the up and up, you get assigned to a Monday or a Friday. You just go out there and do your thing. You should want to win wrestling matches and win championships and make money and maybe come up with some teams because that's going to benefit your career. Not be like, I think that Raw is a better show than SmackDown. That is essentially, and I could be wrong here, I'm happy to be told so, it's just like a spillover from the WCW days. Whereas like, are you a WCW guy, you a WWE guy. So when WCW died or got bought by WWE, that's why they did the brand split, so they could try and create their own competition. And that's still going on now. We don't need it now. I'm doing. If nothing else, AEW arrived. So you have actual competition, but I didn't hate brand warfare. It was just so lame. It's like kiddie. It's like what kids would do. Oh man, my dad's bigger than your dad. Don't bring it in that now. Especially in War Games. Can you imagine? I think of the men's team this year. Can you imagine Roman Reigns in a Raw top and Brock Lesnar in a SmackDown top? I don't even think they have been assigned brands, so don't do it. Number 4, Nikki Bella. Stephanie Vaquer is going down, and somebody said, what if there was no definitive winner? And I was like, yeah, that would suck. I don't care if you want to take the belt off Stephanie Vaquer. I don't care if Nikki Bella's going to cheat. I don't care if Brie Bella interrupts and reforms a Brie Bellas. That's not what they're called. The Bella sisters, or the Bella twins. You absolutely need a winner here. If Stephanie Vaquer beats Nikki Bella, fine. It's one and done, and we move on to something else unless you can find a way to continue on the story. But if Nikki Bella wins, that's good as well, because Stephanie Vaquer can then be on the chase, and she's a babyface, and we'll get behind her because she's very good at what she does. But having some kind of, I guess it ties into the War Games thing we just talked about. Oh, nobody really won just because you don't want to beat Stephanie, but you want the Nikki Bella feud to continue. It's lame, it's boring, and it's cowardly, which is not really the right word, but just decide what you want to do and go full into it, lean into it, and let's see what happens. Even if crowning Nikki Bella was the worst idea ever, which it wouldn't be because she knows what she's doing, especially as a heel, you have so many shows. In order to reverse it, I would just give it to Nikki Bella and wait and see, but for the love of everything, please give us a finish. None of this run-in nonsense. Number 3, totally agree with as well. Asuka shall not be on the losing team of her War Games team, which is a stupid sentence and I regret saying it out loud. Asuka has so much momentum right now that coming out the other side of this, and eventually when the Kabuki Warriors tag team reign comes to an end, she should be doing singles matches with everybody. And a loss or a pinfall or submission over her should be like a massive deal. You could go back to the Becky Lynch stuff, you could do the Kairi Sane match, you could do the Iyo Sky match, you could do the Rhea Ripley match, you could do the live Valkyria match, you could throw Bayley in there. And that's before I've even got into other people that I'm mentioning right now. It wouldn't kill her a career, of course it wouldn't. She's one of the best of all time if she lost in the War Games. But when you've got 10 people in there and other people that could actually take the pin, Becky Lynch and AJ for example, that would trigger their feud properly, Asuka don't need to be doing this stuff. I love Kairi Sane, but there's obviously a hierarchical, what's the word I'm looking for, positioning between the two, and Kairi could take the pin to achieve whatever you want to do with Asuka, but you've got to protect this bubble around Asuka. Now, one of the big reasons is because she went away for so long, and she came back like it was nothing. Like, yeah, I can still wrestle like I'm one of the best, because she is one of the best. So save all of those. I don't think she has actually, and then she got rolled up in one show, I think, so she's lost once, I think. But every time there's been a tag team, it's always been Kairi Sane taking the pinfalls. I would try and stretch that out throughout 2026, and then take people that you want to build, a Julia, a Stephanie Vaquer, and some others as well, and Rhea Ripley, still super young Rhea Ripley, and let them have statement wins over Asuka. That's only going to improve them as we do go. And also it will suck. Asuka's like the team captain. She's killing it right now. You've got 4 other people. Pin one of them. Number 2 is that Iyo Sky rejoins the Kabuki Warriors. Somebody mentioned this to me as well. They were trying to come up with heel turns that we could potentially see. Everyone is talking about the Jey Uso heel turn, which could happen. I don't think it would ruin Survivor Series at all. I think it'd be very interesting. When all of a sudden we got into the chat about the women's War Games, and I could see something with Charlotte and Alexa, just because Alexa's been very weird to Charlotte. But again, wouldn't ruin anything. When we did get onto other teams that could split up, and people were like, yeah, imagine Iyo turned on Rhea, and I'd like, that would suck. That would be terrible. I mean, one, everyone loves Iyo Sky, right? She's one of the most organically over baby faces that they have right now, WWE, just because of the way she is, right? She's an amazing performer, but she's got almost this cartoon-like way to her, which makes her incredible fun to watch. So you don't all of a sudden want to take that away. In the future, maybe. But also, especially given the fallout and, oh my gosh, is Iyo Sky going to join the Kabuki Warriors, which led to their crown jewel match. But that really would be bad. And it would be doing a swerve for the sake of a swerve, which is Vince Russo ideas. And as we have learned over the years, they don't really work very well. So yes, I would stay away from this. I don't think you would get anybody to truly care. Most people would probably just be a little bit annoyed. And number 1 is everybody's favourite, which is Cody Rhodes wins the War Games by pinning Drew McIntyre, which could happen. This is something that the WWE enjoys to do. Somebody mentions to me, yes, but wouldn't it be great if Drew pinned Cody? I was like, no, because we'll get to match number 3 and Drew McIntyre will lose again. We need to put Drew McIntyre in a feud where he's allowed to win and allowed to get, well, his status is still pretty high up because he's good at what he does, but he has to start winning some feuds. And anything he does with Cody, even if he was be able to get a visual pin here, would just mean on the December 13th Saturday Night's Main Event or whatever the flub, Cody gets another win. That would be 3-0 for Drew, which I don't think is going to help him. But it made me laugh out loud, this one, because I can see the WWE suggesting it and Drew being like, I don't want to do that. I think it's a terrible idea. I don't think they will. I have decided, well, in my dream world, Bron Breaker would pin CM Punk, and we just go straight into that feud. It is quite hard. Jimmy Uso is there, right? So I think Jimmy Uso is probably going to get pinned. And I hate saying that, because I think Jimmy Uso is one of the most underused and underrated people on the entire WWE roster. But there are other people that we could do. Again, you shouldn't pin Bronson Reed, but you could. You could pin Logan Paul, etc., etc. But do not pin Drew McIntyre. Let's rephrase it. Don't pin Drew. Doesn't matter if it's Cody, doesn't matter if it's an Uso brother, doesn't matter if it's Roman Reigns, doesn't matter if it's Punk, right? That's quite cool, actually. match, we get Punk and Drew going at it again. Nobody should be touching Drew. Nobody should be pinning Drew. I don't think it would necessarily ruin the Survivor Series, but it would make me look at Drew and go, bro, I kind of think you need to hit a little bit of a reset. Now, there's a bunch of other ways that WWE will be able to ruin this, for lack of a better term. They're meant to be fun, though, right? We're enjoying ourselves. Don't be too much of a silly Billy. Drop me a comment down there, like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen for my proper Survivor Series predictions to see if I can actually get that stuff right, and hit the notification bell as well. Simon316 on social media, GorillaMind.com/Simon. Use Get Simon to get loads of money off at the moment as they continue their Black Friday or Black November sales, whatever the flub we're calling it. Patreon.com, did I just mention that? I don't know. Go there as well for me. You can watch my watch-alongs doing a big John Cena-a-thon. Otherwise, Cameo, TikTok, Pro Wrestling Tees, search for my name as well. Lots of dumb videos and fun to be had. Enjoy the Survivor Series, my friends. See you soon.